Welcome back to ML Miller Frights. This is ML Miller. This time around, I've got a brand new movie for you. It's coming out on demand and digital download. It's called BECKY. BECKY. Directed by Jonathan Millett and Carrie Murnion, and written by Nick Morris, Lane Skye, and Ruckus Skye. It stars Lulu Wilson, Kevin James, Joel McHale, Amanda Brugel, Robert Maillet, or Maillet, I'm not sure how that's pronounced, Ryan McDonald, James McDougall, and Isaiah Ratcliffe. BECKY is a story about an angry teen, played by Lulu Wilson. She's from Annabelle Creation and Ouija, The Origin of Evil. Becky's got a lot of problems, and she's got a reason to be an angry teen. Her mother just recently passed away about a year ago from cancer. The kids at school are a bunch of asshole idiots who start fights with her, or she starts fights with them. It's kind of unclear at school. And her dad, played by Joel McHale, has just let her know he's about to remarry. While spending a weekend at their cabin in the woods, Becky is supposed to get used to the idea of having Kayla, Amanda Brugel, as her new stepmom, but she's not having it. After she stomps out during dinner and hides in her secret fort in the woods with her dog, Becky is oblivious when a group of escaped convicts, led by a psychotic manipulator named Dominic, played by Kevin James, has invaded her cabin and taken the family hostage. With Becky in possession of a key that Dominic and his gang hid at the cabin years ago, she finds herself the only one with some kind of leverage over the man-monsters. Dominic wants to negotiate a trade with Becky, but he's about to find out Becky doesn't play well with others. Becky is an extremely violent and over-the-top revenge flick, pitting a 13-year-old girl against 4 vicious neo-Nazi escaped felons. Through force of will, cunning beyond her years, and all kinds of sharp and dangerous objects a girl her age shouldn't be playing with, Becky ruthlessly battles Dominic and his pals in a bloody game of death. The violence here is really brutal and resonant as each warring faction tears at each other and leaves giant chunks of themselves on the forest floor. This film can be categorized as a hard R Home Alone that definitely isn't for the kiddies, and I loved pretty much all of it. Lulu Wilson is absolutely awesome here. She's played the creepy kid before, but she's never had the spotlight on her for this long. And she is ruthless. The level of hell she unleashes here is biblical. While her reaction to the home invasion is extreme and violent, Wilson sells it through guttural screams and blood-spattered tantrums. She convincingly plays a troubled teen that is truly a force to be reckoned with. You almost feel sorry for these convicts if they weren't so despicable. The newsworthy item in BECKY is going to be that this is Kevin James's first stab at a dramatic role. And while I was half expecting him to start chasing Becky on a Segway and to fall down hilariously over and over, I have to admit, James is quite effective as the skinhead Dominic. He's got a couple of monologues that are downright chilling, and his ability to manipulate and control those with smaller minds around him are qualities that he really sells. This is a scary man James plays, but one you can understand how he got to the top of the heap behind bars. He's got this position of power over these other convicts, and they bow down and do whatever it is he tells them to do. A lot of that has to do with a very taut and a on-the-point script from Nick Morris, Lane Skye, and Ruckus Skye. But James delivers the lines with dedication and menace. You will believe Paul Blart can kill for the Aryan Brotherhood. There's also a surprisingly nuanced performance by Robert Maillet, or Maillet. That's Sherlock Holmes' hammer-swinging giant, and the WWE's Kurgan. He's not your typical tough guy, as he plays a convict who, now that he has his freedom, he's really trying to leave his violent past behind him, and it pains him to do these horrible things to the people in order for them to escape and gain their freedom. It was fascinating to see this mammoth-sized man being pulled in all directions, as Dominic attempts to manipulate him to go against his own gut feelings. It's a performance that didn't need to be in this film, but it makes it better and deeper and more resonant because his role is there. But the brutality is the star of Becky, and I think it's going to surprise people. Every now and then, the film occasionally skirts on the edge of believability, thinking that a 13-year-old girl would be able to take out 4 felons. It's kind of a stretch. But everyone involved seems convicted to the tone and unafraid to go to some medieval avenues more conventional films are afraid to tread. Just when I thought the film was going to reel off the tracks, it maintained the course and it recovers. There are times when Becky goes full-on crazy on these people, and it works. There are also a few points in this movie where I think that there needed to be a little bit of explanation as to why this key is so important, what's the key to, and how Becky found it at the cabin. But the action and pace of this film is so fast and frantic that I really don't know where they could have dropped those details in without skidding the story to a halt with a flashback, so I understand why they didn't include those little bits. Some might criticize Becky for borrowing heavy from action classics like Die Hard and even exploitative grindhousers like I Spit on Your Grave and Last House on the Left, thankfully minus the sexual assault. But everything feels fresh when played out with these specific actors and with the distinct scenario of having a preteen being the one unleashing an unhinged dose of vengeance. Becky is a beast of a film that lives in the moment. It's a lean monster that's poised to pounce when you least expect it. I really think that Lulu Wilson gave a star-making performance in this movie. And also Robert Malliet, or Malliet, maybe if he gets bigger I'll learn how to pronounce his name. He delivers a performance that I believe should elevate him to the next level. Becky also proves that Kevin James has more to offer than just slapstick. He is scary here. He is commanding here. There's some gross and harrowing and sadistic and gory things that happen, all because of the carnage that he manipulates and he controls. Directors Jonathan Millet and Carey Murnion unleash Becky at a breakneck pace and a fearless attitude. This even goes all the way over through the credits. It's action and violence thrown in your face intensely from beginning to end. It's an all-around gory good time, and those who like their actions gritty and gross should not miss Becky. That's it for this episode of ML Miller Frights. I thank you very much for tuning in and checking us out. Please give a like, a share, and subscribe down below. Don't forget to hit that bell for notifications. And please leave a comment down below. What'd you think of Becky? See you next time. Take care.
You're doomed to live the life you're meant to be. Stuck inside your reality. You're doomed. Oh, you're doomed. You're